All right, welcome back to the outdoor kitchen. Beautiful sunny Florida. I've got a fire going. So, you know, with 2020 being a very unconventional year, I thought I would have 3 to 4 trips up north to visit my family. It hasn't worked out. So, today, I'm gonna do something special. I'm going to cook something that my nephew will be able to cook. So hopefully he'll follow along as he's watching the video. And he'll make this. So this is for Camden. It's for anybody else also that is into a nice orange marmalade glazed chicken. I've spatchcocked the chicken. So before we get started, if I was up north and cooking, my sister Claire and I would probably be splitting an organic chocolate stout. All right, so if I'm going to do this, keep the kitchen clean. All right, Claire, this is to you and your family, Adam, Camden. I hope this finds you guys well. Boy, is that good. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to roast a free-range chicken. Now I have it sitting on a bed of these little organic potatoes. So Adam, you know how to spatchcock, so I'm not going to go ahead and explain it, but I've removed that backbone and I make a cut right up at the top of the breast and it allows it to open up just a little easier. I made a rub of garlic and rosemary. It's from my garden. It's nice and sticky. As I've said before, when it's fresh, your fingers will stick together. Garlic. I put in some onion salt and salt and pepper. Now, this marinade or the rub's been on it, olive oil also. Mixed it up in a bowl, spread it out over the bottom and as well as over the top. Now that we're getting ready to go in the oven, we'll put a little more olive oil on it. This fire is really hot today. It's definitely warming my back up, to say the least, when it's close to 90 degrees. This is some Himalayan salt. This is black pepper. And this is just the final seasoning I'm going to put on this. My oven's probably going to start out about 550 degrees. It'll come down to probably 450 as it progresses. I'm thinking it's going to take about an hour. While this is roasting, I'll make up my orange marmalade glaze. We'll do that in just a minute. So what I need to do first, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push this fire to the back left corner. So I'll be back in just a minute. And we'll go ahead and we'll put this chicken into my wood-fired oven. Now, real quick, Camden, you can do this in your home oven, okay? I'd set it about 450, 425. Same thing, you'll be able to do that at home in your oven. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. It's so good. I wish you were here, Claire. All right, was able to push my the fire back and over to the left side of my oven. That's typically where I put it if I'm making pizza, by the way, which I'm not doing today. I didn't plan this out well. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of questions as to what is my oven temperature. So I've said it many a times. I typically look for the soot, the black, to burn off. It's then referred to as a white oven. That's usually where I go. And if it's hotter, it cooks a little quicker. If it's a little cooler, it takes a little bit longer. All right. Next to the fire, I'm at 750 on the deck. And I'm at 660. That's hot. I can't even keep my hand here right now. And the dome is about 978 degrees. So when you're cooking in a wood-fired oven, placement is key. If I was doing a pizza, Neapolitan style, I'm going to get it back in that corner. It's really hot right here, right at the front of my oven. Let's see, just for the heck of it. It's probably at least 350 degrees. 4 to 4 1/4 right at the front here. So we'll go in just a little bit and to the right. Okay, so anybody that has any questions on how hot my oven is, all right, I probably don't need to add another piece of wood, but just in case, I'm going to take a piece of oak and I'm going to stick it over in the back here. Well, it's actually up in the front, but to the side. And the reason why I like to do that, if there's any moisture left in it, that'll help dry it out. And the minute I put it over to that hot bed of coals, it's igniting. All right. Okay, hang on one second. It's hot, so I'll use this to position it just a little bit better. Okay. I'll probably rotate the pan every 10, probably every 10 minutes. I'll give it a quarter of a turn. So as we're getting close to an hour, we'll be on that final turn. Might be a little sooner. I'll pull it out, put the glaze on it. Thinking I'm probably going to have to tent it with some aluminum foil if it gets the skin really dries up, which it typically will. So give me just a minute and we'll go ahead and get set up, and I'll show you how to make that orange marmalade glaze that we're going to use. You can hear that pan, it's roasting already. I should have had some dough ready. This oven's at a good temperature for making pizza. One other thing I did want to mention, I typically will remove my chicken from the refrigerator at least an hour before. And the reason is I want to get that down towards room temperature. It just makes for the cooking process to be a little bit more even. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. We'll get set up. We'll make that orange marmalade glaze. All right, welcome back. I'm going to go ahead and give this a turn before we get started. Let me just grab a hook. Okay. We're not even 10 minutes. I'm going to give it a full rotation. Or excuse me, like 180. We'll probably have to tent this at about the 20-30 minute mark. Wow, it's hot today. Sunny Florida, October 24th. October through December, Zone 9B, best time of the year. All right, I've got about 5 cloves of garlic, fresh rosemary again. I'm going to grab it, pull it back. I get to the top of the stem, just rip it off. Hopefully you can see that okay. We'll go one more. I like rosemary, so. Now, this glaze I use over the top as it's final, and it's the final cooking. But I also like to spread some down on the plate. This way any of the chicken that didn't get any of that glaze on it, you can just wipe a little bit up with the piece of chicken that you're going to be eating. It is so good. This is a recipe that I'm putting my take on from Munyuini ovens. They're out of California. They sell wood-fired ovens. I'm not advocating for them, but I do just want to acknowledge they had a orange marmalade glazed rib recipe, and so I'm just using it now for a chicken. And it's similar. I'm not going to say it's 100% like theirs, but it's very close, so I did want to acknowledge that. They have some good videos, beautiful ovens. I've got a friend that I've made through social media, Francesco Marafoni. They make beautiful ovens. You should check them out if you're interested in buying an oven. I believe they're the only certified, it's an Italian certified oven that's made here in the United States. So that's a huge honor for anybody that, here, a little garbage bowl here. Anybody that's manufacturing a true wood-fired oven. So, love their ovens. Nice family. Anybody interested in buying a commercial oven, you should go check them out. Down the road, they've made a few residential ovens. Typically, it's for friends and celebrities, from what I understand. And one day, I might collaborate with them if they get a residential oven line going. There's a lot more talented people out there, I'm sure, when it comes to making Neapolitan-style pizza. Just as we've become friends, we've often chatted about maybe collaborating on something, and that seems to make the most sense if they ever start to mass produce a residential oven. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a rough chop here. And we'll get that into the bowl. Now please feel free to use as much or as little as you like. Quanto basta. Okay? That's the beauty of cooking. You're in charge. You get to put in what you like. If there's something I'm using here that you don't like, leave it out. That's okay. There's no right or wrong way. I think the only right way is to actually cook. Make stuff at home. It's much healthier. You get your kids involved with the cooking. My grandkids love to cook with me. They love to be out in my food forest and garden. And they'll eat almost anything out of that garden. Giovanni was here yesterday, and he was eating longevity spinach and rosemary, which is his favorite. Red pepper flakes. Now again, if you don't like it a little bit hot, just leave this out. We'll put a little salt. I'm not going to add any pepper because we have the pepper flakes in there. No olive oil. It's the orange marmalade. This smells great. It actually has bits of the orange peel in here. And again, I just eyeball this up, right? We want a decent amount of it. I don't have much left. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. The jar's been open, so we might as well use it up. Okay. Boy, is that good. Right. So I'm just going to mix this up and incorporate it. And again, this is for the final stage of cooking. I just wanted to go ahead and make it so you can see the ingredients. Quick stir. As Giada De Laurentiis would say, a quick little stir. All right, that's it. It's done. Made a little bit of a mess. We'll clean up. Let me pull the chicken out and we'll take a look at how that's coming along. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some foil on this now. That's probably cooked just a little bit more than I wanted, but it'll be fine. I'm not going to eat the skin, and I'll go ahead and tip my hand right now. We're going to make a second recipe. It's going to be a chicken soup. So we'll have just a little bit of the chicken with some rice and some other veggies, probably tomorrow night. And on Tuesday, I'll be taking most of what's left of the chicken, the other breast, the dark meat, the carcass, and I'm going to make a chicken soup with barley. And again, I'm trying to make some recipes that will be good for Camden's diet. Now, he can't have barley, but he can have quinoa or brown rice. Right now we're on a barley kick, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I was going to do a sweet potato for Camden. Claire says he's okay eating a regular potato, so I have them. So these potatoes here, by the way, I'll use for home fries in the morning. So anybody that's been following me for a while knows when I'm cooking, I usually am thinking a few steps ahead, not always, usually. And let me just pull this piece of wood out of the way here. We'll put that on in just a second. But usually my goal is I like to make sure we're going to bring it a little more up front here. So now it's about in the center right of the oven. But, you know, it's just Stacy, Nonna, and myself. And I've often heard people say, it doesn't pay to cook for two people. I disagree. I cook all the time, and either I'll take leftovers and weave that into another dish, or if I'm making a big pot of soup, we've got the base for either a lunch or a dinner. From there, we can throw in some roasted veggies, a nice salad. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but I've got a nice bed of coals. And I don't know that was necessary, but I had the piece of wood in there already. There you go. It's already in flames. I'm going to grab the camera. We'll come back around. I'll give you a close-up. Then I need to clean up. Thirsty. Let me just grab a sip here. This would have been gone if you were here, Claire. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing you're not. Actually, I have plenty, so I really do wish you were here. Or, even better, that I was up visiting you guys. We'd be at Mom's. I'll never forget, I believe it was like 2 years ago on Adam's Weber Kettle Grill. We made some chicken. It was a beautiful fall day around this time of the year in October. And I think that's when Camden and I really discovered how we love to cook together. He was flipping the chicken, he was helping me and making sure we let the chicken rest. Right, Camden? You gotta let it rest. Oh, those are great times. I miss my family. Wish I was up there. I'm praying 2021's a nicer, kinder year to all of us. All right, I'll be right back. All right, there you go. There's a look inside my oven. This is really hot. So that's where I have the chicken. You can see it's tinted with the foil. You can see how that log instantly. This is where you want to be. There's a little bit of soot over in the corner there. I'm not worried about that. The rest of the oven is white. That's plenty of heat for what I'm cooking. At this stage, you could cook all day long. There's nothing like a wood-fired oven. All right, I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, welcome back. It's hot, so after I cleaned up, I went for a swim, so I got my bathing suit on. We're coming up on the 50-minute mark. Let's go ahead and we'll give this a temperature check, and we're probably there so we can start applying the glaze. I did pull this up towards the front a few minutes ago. Oh yeah. Ooh, hot. Okay. My orange marmalade glaze with the garlic, red pepper flakes, salt. This is so good. I could see putting this on a nice crusty piece of homemade bread. All right, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to taste one of these potatoes because they look so good. Let's see if I can find a small one here. Here we go. We'll let this sit just a minute. Cut it in half. It's nice and tender. All right, let me go ahead and put this in the oven. And we'll let it glaze towards the fire for a few minutes, and then we'll swing it around after giving it one more coat if it needs it. And I'm just going to stick it on an angle now towards the hot coals. Hopefully I can finish this video before we get rain. It looks like it wants to rain. All right, get this garbage bowl out of the way. So I talked earlier about making these into home fries. So tomorrow morning we'll slice them in half and put them in a nice cast iron skillet with a little olive oil. And we'll make ourselves some nice home fries and probably have an egg with it. I love potatoes. So probably another 5 minutes or so. I'll take the chicken out, I'll re-tent it. We'll let it rest for like 15 minutes, and I've got a cutting board here. I'll go ahead and show you how I remove the white and dark meat and what we'll be saving for the soup. That'll be another video. All right, I'll be back in just a minute. I might actually go in for another swim. I feel so blessed. Right at 1 hour. I did go for another swim. I did rotate the chicken. Let's see what we got. There you go. All right. I forgot to take a temperature check earlier. On camera, that is. But the breast was at about 162. Okay. 165. 177. 175. We'll go ahead and tent this. Now, I've done this before. I could have cooked the breast to 170, 175. It's still going to be nice and moist. And part of that is, at some point, I put the foil on it. So we'll go ahead and seal this up. We'll let this rest. Right, Camden? We're going to let this rest. So we were at it right at 1 hour. I'll come back at 1 hour and 15 minutes. And we'll go ahead and cut this up. In the meantime, I'm going to get something to put my potatoes in and get a little bit of those pan drippings. It's hot. And I'm going to reserve that for when I make that chicken soup on Tuesday. So this is great. Doesn't get any better. I don't care if you're cooking inside your kitchen using a conventional oven, convection oven, over a Weber kettle grill, gas grill. If you're lucky enough to have a wood-fired oven that you built, that's even better. Gotta cook. All right, I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, we're coming up on the 15-minute mark, sorry. Primo caught my eye. I just went for a swim again, and he's standing right by the edge of the pool. I think he's looking at a squirrel outside. Adam, my brother. This was a birthday gift from Adam. Instant read thermometer. If you guys don't have one, you need to go out immediately and buy one. Great tool. I also wanted to mention, I picked up some really nice compost from a guy out in Brooksville, Jimmy. He's from up north as well, so it turned into a 2-hour trip. Long story. He had some cherry wood and hickory. This is the cherry. I split it up even smaller, and I was going to use this once I put my chicken in the oven, but I had it down under the table out of sight. So this is typical. I always forget something, an ingredient. Anyway, I just share that with you to show that I mess up all the time. All right. Let's see. Yeah. 13 minutes. That's close enough. Let's get this out of the way. Only because it's going to be really hot. I'm going to grab it with a napkin. Hopefully the legs don't rip off. Okay. Let this sit another minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove my potatoes. And again, this is for another day. Oops. Getting too much of that goodness off of the bottom. And normally I would recommend using something more ceramic or a little bit heavy dutier for roasting. I just didn't want to have to wash any more dishes, so I used a disposable. We recycle here in Florida, so I'll recycle this. Actually, nothing's really burnt onto it, so I might actually wash this out and reuse it. So there's the potatoes. Give that just a minute. Actually, I've found if you put the lid on, they'll steam a little bit more, and they'll get even more. They'll get softer and a little more creamier. There's that. Let me see if I can pick this up. And I want to capture all, but there's a lot of garlic and rosemary. So let me see if I can capture some of this without making a mess. Now, if I wasn't looking to make something else, like the chicken soup, I'd probably discard that. But the carcass and that goodness right there, only because it's got all that rosemary and garlic, I'm going to add that to my broth. All right, first thing I like to do, I'm going to get rid of the dark meat here. And it comes off, the juices are nice and clear. It comes off really easy, right? When you cut that back out, spatchcock it, this makes it really easy. And I'm just using a steak knife here. Nothing fancy. It's that simple to break this down. Thirsty. This is what I love about an outdoor kitchen. You're in the pool. You're having something refreshing. Just picked up this stainless steel table not too long ago. I'd love to make an outdoor kitchen right here. I don't think Nonno's going to let me do that. I already have an outdoor kitchen across the area that has a gas grill, so that might be pushing my luck. Okay. Just get these wing ends out of the way, and we'll go ahead and remove the breasts on both sides, and I'll show you how I like to do that. I don't think that's going to make it in the soup. That looks pretty good, right? Okay, so I'm going to locate the center, and I'm going to come right down it, and from here I'm going to work my way in right at the base, and I'm going to come as close to the center here as possible. Now, I'm not looking to get all the meat off of what's left here, okay, because we're going to use that for our soup. So I'm just looking to get the top section of breast. So once I make my cut this way, I'll come back over to the center here, and I'll find where that breastbone is at. It's really hot still, and you could see it's already off. So there's one breast, and we'll do the same thing over on this side. Okay, and again, I'm deliberately leaving more meat here than I would do if I was looking not to make a soup, if that makes sense. All right, let's get this out of the way. And the reason why I'm doing that, I just want to give you an idea how I like to slice the breast meat, right? I would come across this way, and I'd make slices. Each one will have a little bit of skin on it. If you don't like the skin, take it off. You still slice it the same way. So there's our breasts. Now, I have to show you, I got to give you a serving suggestion, right? So I think I'm entitled to a little snack. Again, we don't eat a lot of meat these days. We're mostly plant-based as far as our diet. Maybe I'll save that one. And, okay. Now, I mentioned a few minutes ago, there's that glaze. It's got the orange marmalade, rosemary, garlic, salt, red pepper flakes. I'd put that piece of chicken right there. And there you have it. Orange marmalade glazed chicken. Okay, serving suggestion. If this was a piece of breast meat, you'd have a lot more to wipe up that glazing. Let's give this a taste. The flavor profile in this chicken is over the top. It's just got layers of flavor. You can subtly taste the garlic, the orange marmalade, the zest of the orange, the red pepper flakes, the garlic. It really is delicious. I'm going to go ahead and capture the rest of these drippings if I don't spill it all over my table. And that's it. I hope you guys will give this a try. Camden, Claire, Adam, I hope you guys will try cooking this at home in your kitchen. I think you're going to like it. And stay tuned, because next up, using all this leftover chicken, all this work, you could eat the majority of it and just use what's on the carcass, but we're going to use most of what's left, other than a breast, tomorrow for our dinner. We're going to make that chicken soup, and it's going to be delicious. Okay, well, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it finds you all well. And I'll see you next time back here at the outdoor kitchen. This has been Cooking with Nonno. I appreciate you watching.